This is not what a normal college class sounds like, and it's even too quiet for an American Sign Language class. The reason is Trena Shank, a completely deaf professor whose classes learned to sign the same way she did, without sound. Trena began teaching ASL classes at Ohio State 8 years ago, after getting her master's in ASL education. Trena said through an interpreter, if not for her boss and coworkers while working at Best Buy in Minnesota, she might have never become a professor in the first place.
Then my boss was talking to me and said, hey, do you mind teaching some of the staff, some of the other co-workers, teach them some sign? I said, that's fine. So I went and I was teaching them, and the group got larger and larger. And I did that for 2 years with the staff there. Then my boss encouraged me. He said, you know what? I think you should go to graduate school. And I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. A friend of mine said, why don't you become a teacher? I said, well, why not?
The journey has had its challenges, but for Trena, a language barrier has never been a problem when communicating with her students.
Sure. Sometimes I'll put stuff up on an overhead. We have articles that they read on their own as well. And we have stuff that we post on Carmen for them to read. That's information as well. I don't feel like it's a real obstacle. I know sometimes, if it is an obstacle, I'll ask a student to come see me and I'll provide an interpreter in my office for us to have a more in-depth conversation with the interpreter. So that way they can pick it up. But, in class, if they're having a hard time picking up language or whatever, it's my responsibility to see them and, assist them to do that.
The main reason Trena finds communicating with her students so easy can be found in her family. Trena became deaf at the age of 1 from spinal meningitis, leaving her a childhood of being deaf in a hearing family.
We almost lost her at 1 year old. She was very, very ill. She ended up losing her hearing 100%. And there was some difficult times, communication problems.
Her having her own children, a deaf husband and hearing children, probably really broadened her horizons too.
She's probably the hardest worker I know, to be honest. We don't get to see her much. We see her on the weekends, if that, and all the time. Even when she's on that computer, doing stuff for her students and trying to do better for them.